Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Kurt, aka the Vitruvian Gamer, and I'm here with a new top list. Now, today I'm doing a top 13. Ooh, lucky number 13. And the list that I'm going to tell you about is my 13 games that if I were to go to GenCon, I would probably bring back home. Because I'm not going to GenCon, it's a little bit far. I could take the bus and the train, and then there's still water to be... No, I think I'll stay here. I'll be attending GenCon. Check that out. If you don't know what GenCon is, go check out, I think, gencon.com, which is a convention that you can join at home. They do a lot of contests and stuff like that. Pretty cool, so check it out. Anyway, if I were to go to GenCon, there are these games that I would want to buy, of course. At least want to check out and probably buy. I'm not sure, because, well, I don't know them yet. Or I do some of them. But that's something else that I'll talk to you. I'll tell you about this very soon. So, my top 13, let me take the list so I can tell you about it. So, I've put this in order of how much I like them, except for the first two, number 13 and number 12, because one of them I already played once and pre-ordered it, of course, and the other one is also a Kickstarter that I ordered and it should be coming. So it's not really fair because I'm not going to buy them. I wouldn't buy them at GenCon because I already pre-ordered them somehow. Also, number 12, I'll explain why it's only on number 12. Okay, let's stop rambling and let's start going down the list with my number 13, which is Western Legends. Now, Western Legends is the game that I talked about that is that I kickstarted. So it is coming pretty soon, I think, in August, or maybe in the worst case is September. And Western Legend is this, well, they call it a sandbox Western game in which you are one of the cool Western heroes of the days of yore, and you are trying to get infamy, or you get hero points. I forgot how it was called. By doing all kinds of things, you can go gambling. You can rob a train? No, not rob a train, but you can handle cattle. You can go dig for gold. You can fight the bandits that roam around, put them in prison, gives you points, or you can be a bandit yourself and do bad things that way. A lot of choices that you can do. I'm still looking for that ultimate Western game where you are really a cowboy or a Western hero, instead of many games like Carson City, in which apparently, I haven't played Carson City by the way, but it looks like you're building a city and it's not that westerny, or I just want the movie kind of feeling, that the way we know here in Belgium the Western team. So that's number 13. So that's why it's lower. If it wasn't kickstarted by me, then I would probably have put this higher on the list, but for now I put it on number 13. Number 12, also lower on the list than it probably would be if I didn't work voluntarily for Portal Games, and that's the game Detective. Now, Detective is a game where you are playing a detective in modern day time. You are trying as a group to solve cases, and you do that by, well, filling an evening of this game, plays in about 3 hours for a scenario. You are writing down everything. You can go online sometimes. There is a website dedicated to the game in which you can enter all kinds of data that you might want to use, like fingerprints and DNA and whatever. So I played the first scenario when I was at UK Game Expo, and it's really a cool experience. So it gets a lot of buzz at this moment, and I think it might deserve the buzz as well. So that's all I'm saying. I might be biased a little bit because I got my connections with Portal Games. That's also why it's only at number 12, but it would have been probably a top 5 game if it weren't the case that I should have my copy on the way now, my pre-order copy. Alright, let's go to number 11, which is the first one that's really on this list at the place where it should be. And that's, well, I talked about this game, but big brother of this game already, Carson City, the card game. I don't know that much about it. I saw some gameplay on YouTube already, and it's a game where, well, you have a bunch of cards. You bid by playing the cards. If you play the highest card, well, it's gone, of course, the card, because you can use every card only once. And then you can draft these tiles, which you make, well, your city with, Carson City. And a number of pictures around there, and all pictures have a different way of scoring or giving you negative points or whatever. There are also characters that you get in the game. I haven't seen how that works that much, but apparently it's the same characters as in the big Carson City game. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, a Western theme. I'm still looking for that cool Western game. This one is more again about the city building, but still I'm curious and I'm eager to find out how it plays. Wow, number 10. Number 10 is a game, and like most of these games on my list, there are not that many surprises. Some of them that are not on the list might be surprising. Let me know if you're really looking for a game and wondering why it's not on my list. Put it in the comments below and I will answer why it's not there, because there are a few big releases that I'm not really interested in or not enough to put it on this list. But my number 10 is one that's on many people's lists, and that's Reef. Reef is this game. It's the spiritual successor of Azul, which was of course one of the biggest games of last year. It won the Spiel des Jahres, so that tells quite a bit, of course. And this also is a very cool looking but still abstract game in which you're building your own reef with these plastic tokens, tiles that you can stack on each other. You get cards, and I'm just telling about what I remember by reading and looking at stuff. So you have cards, and the one side of the card lets you place these reef tokens, and the other side lets you score a certain reef, however it's put. Man, I don't get out of my words today. So, but most of the time those two work well together, but you can only do one of both. So that gives, of course, very important decisions. What are you going to use? Are you going to save some cards before you score cards? And so on. Looks cool. I'm not a big fan of abstract games, but the designer, whose name I'm forgetting, Emerson Matsuuchi, I hope I pronounced it right, he has done a great job with Azul, which I like quite a bit, so that was a special one. So maybe this one is at least as special as well. We'll see. Then we go to number 9. Number 9 is a game that I absolutely don't know a lot about. It's a cool theme, and it has apparently pool building, dice, and kind of drafting, I believe. And this game is by, oh, and I'm forgetting to mention the publisher. So Western Legends is Castle Games, Portal Games, Detective. Carson City is by Quint Games or Quint Games. Reef by Next Move Games, and the next one is by Artana, and it is called Speakeasy Blues. And Speakeasy Blues is designed by Adrian Adamescu and Daryl Andrews, and this game is a light to medium weight game apparently, and there's not a lot to tell about it. It has apparently dice rolling, set collection, and worker placement. And I don't know. I was surprised by the price. If you look at the box art, it looks like a small box game, but apparently it's $60, so it should be a big game. But there are no images. Well, I haven't seen any on Board Game Geek. Maybe there are images online, but I haven't had the time to look at them. So I'm very curious about this one. I like dice rolling and dice placement, the set collection, so it looks cool, but I have no idea what it is. But still, it's one that I would definitely check out if I was at GenCon. Alright, to number 8. And let's see. Number 8 is a game published by Cosmos, and it's a 2-player game. I believe you can play it only 2 players. You could play in teams, I guess, but I guess it's for 2 players. And it's kind of a dexterity game. It's called Drop It. In this game, you have these tiles or pieces that you are dropping in this acrylic thing, and there are certain rules for scoring these tiles that you are dropping in that thing. Some things cannot touch the side, some cannot touch another color or the same one. I have no idea, but apparently it is popular, it is successful, and I think it might be cool to have one of those games here at home to play with Elise, and maybe to bring to a friend if there's just 2 of us. Pretty cool. So that's one that I'm curious about. It is Drop It, and well, oh man, I haven't opened it, so I have no idea who the designer is. I'm sorry. So next is number 8. Number 8. Okay, this one might be one of the biggest titles of GenCon. It is of course by a big designer, Matt Leacock, and it's the 3rd game in the well, apparently now a trilogy. With Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Island, and now we have Forbidden Sky. And this game, I'm not really fond of the look of the box, honestly. It's not really speaking to me. And also Forbidden Island is maybe a little bit too light for me. Forbidden Desert has been replaced with Burgle Bros for me, honestly. I still have it though, but it has been replaced. And now Forbidden Sky is, well, the next one. And apparently this works with real electrical currents. So that's special. So I'm just curious. It's a gimmick. Is it important, the gimmick? Is it necessary? Does it work? Is it fun? I'm really curious to see what they did with this game, with this theme, and with, of course, the electricity. So that's pretty cool. And it is published by GameRight, by the way. So curious. The price okay is $40, and it works with electrical current, so probably some batteries that you have to put in the game. So I'm pretty curious to see what it brings. Number 7, a game by Eggert Spiele. It has gotten already many good reviews, I must say, and this game is called Coimbra, if I pronounced that right. Coimbra, designed by Flaminia Brassini and Virginio Gigli. So I guess it's an Italian design, and this game, well, it has dice drafting, which I tend to really like. Now, I've seen some reviews and it looked boring and very simple and not much going on, but everybody says it does. It's very interesting, very important decisions that you have to make, very strategic and all those kind of things. So hey, if the other people think it, I might think it as well. Maybe I hate it, could be, but we'll see. I'm very curious how the game plays. It might be already released also here in Europe, so I hope, because it's an Italian game and Eggert Spiele released it here, so I assume I can get a copy of it, but I prefer to play it first before I buy it. But it looks pretty cool, so I'm going to check that out for sure. Okay, we go to number 6. Oh, I'm completely messing up my numbers, aren't I? Because I'm looking at an Excel file and the number before the title is my row number, but not the number of how high it's on the list. So I'm wrong, because this is already my number 5. And is the first of the Simon games that's on this list. There are a couple of them, so spoiler alert there. And this one is called Newton, and this has a cool box, right? The apple, it looks pretty cool. It looks like a very straightforward, old school Euro game. And it has been a while since I had one of those, a new one. I think Rajas of the Ganges might be one of them. And before that, it has been definitely a while, like Marco Polo and all those kinds of Orléans. So really cool, old school Euro game. That's how this game looks like as well. This game Newton, designed by Simone Luciani and Estore Mangone. So again, I think Italian. So wow, they're doing good in my book at this moment. Published by Cranio Creations. And in this game, for 2 to 4 players, apparently you are scientists, young scientists who want to be the great genius of their time. By doing whatever you do, it looks cool. It has deck building, pool building. That's something very cool, hand management. So I believe this might be a good one. It looks a little bit dry, but it might be pretty neat despite it. And the box draws me in for sure. Alright, let's go to the next one, which is number 4. I'll say it correct this time. Number 4, again, a game from Simon Games. Wow, they're doing very good here. And that's one I just discovered. Someone else did a list like this. They mentioned it and I looked it up and it looks pretty cool. It's called Gizmos. This game by Phil Walker Harding is a 2 to 4 player game in which you are gathering at a science fair and you are working on their creations, but only one will be crowned the champion of the science fair. This has special, well, cool components. Again, it reminds me a little bit of Potion Explosion. It looks very colorful and apparently it might be very good. It has some Splendor-esque things in it as well. It looks pretty neat, and this one, well, it got shot up to my number 4 after I discovered this game. So I'm really curious to see how it plays and how fun it really is, because you never know, of course. That's Gizmos. And then we go to the top 3 with number 3, a game published by Stronghold Games, at least in the United States it is. And this is the only real expansion that's on this list, and that is Terraforming Mars Prelude. This is an expansion that allows you to quick start a game of Terraforming Mars. So you start with some stuff already, and that I believe might be very interesting because and I hope it also shortens the game a little bit. I really like Terraforming Mars, but it doesn't get that many plays as I would, because it's so long. It's quite a long game, and if we can kind of quick start this game with already some stuff going on, and the game goes a little bit faster by that, I'm in, and I'm very excited to have that expansion as well. Because I'm one of those who has the other expansions, although I haven't opened my expansion of Venus Next yet. Sorry. Alright, number 2. By the way, of course, Terraforming Mars Prelude is by Jacob Frixelius, as is the base game, of course. Next, my number 2 is a game, well, there are 2 boxes out there, so that's cool. I'm not sure which one I want. I think the blue one. And this is a roll and write game, which are very popular at this moment. Now, I don't like train games. That's common knowledge by now. I don't like Ticket to Ride. I don't like whatever railroads of the world, or I don't know. Just that theme just doesn't work with me. Now, this game that I'm now talking about is published by Horrible Games. I hope it's not a horrible game, and designed by Hjalmar Hach and Lorenzo Silva. Oh, another Italian name or a Spanish name. I guess it's a Spanish name or something. And it's called Railroad Inc. Now, you have 2 versions. You have Railroad Inc. Blazing Red and Railroad Inc. Deep Blue, which I prefer. It's just the color is the only difference of the color of the box and also of the sheets that you write on, I believe. So this is a 1 to 6 player roll and write game. I believe it's rolling. Yeah, a roll and ride game, in which you are doing some route building as well. I'm normally not my forte, not the things that I really love, but I do like Doodle City, for example. It's also kind of a route building game, and this one just looks pretty cool. And as many people, I'm just a sucker for rolling rides at this moment, and I'm very, very curious to see how this plays, and I will buy a copy if I get my hands on it here in Belgium, which might take a while. I'm not sure how fast these things will get to Europe. Oh man. But I know people in America, they are jealous when we have Spiel, and now it's their time, GenCon. That's when we have to be jealous. Yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles. So that was Railroad Inc. number 2 of my, if I were to go to GenCon, I would definitely try it out and probably buy that game list. I should make it shorter when I upload this. Anyhow, we are going to number 1, a game that I also didn't know was coming. Otherwise, I would have rambled about it already for months. But now, finally, it got its entry on Board Game Geek. It's out there. Oh, no pun included. The truth is out there, because I'm talking about Legendary Encounters, the X-Files deck building game. So this is designed by Ben Chikotsky and Daniel Mandel, and this is published by Upper Deck Entertainment, as are all the other Legendary and Legendary Encounters games. Now, the reason why I'm so excited about this one, because I've got some Legendary and some Legendary Encounter games, so that's nothing special. But it is, because first, the X-Files, my number 1 favorite series of all time. So I'm so excited. Finally, I believe I talked about this in an older video where I did a top 5 or top 10, I don't know anymore, about IPs I want to see in a board game. Now, there are some board games about the X-Files, but this is so cool. Legendary Encounters. So I really love the Encounters thing, because it changes up things. I do like Legendary Marvel, for example, but still it's a little bit too straightforward, a little bit too simple. Now, for example, Legendary Encounter Aliens, they add a lot to it with the scanning of the cards, and Legendary Encounters Firefly with the ship strikes that you can get. You have your own Serenity that you are flying, and it gives you very cool things. Now, this one is the X-Files and Legendary Encounters combined together. I'm so stoked. Now, I have not seen anything but the box art yet. I've heard rumors that the artwork is stills from the series, which some people mind, some people don't. I don't give a shizzle, really. If their stills are good quality, I'm just perfectly fine with it, because I will recognize the stills and I will be so happy to have an X-Files game in my hands and play a Legendary Encounter game about it. This team lends itself to Legendary Encounters so well. I can imagine that I'm super duper stoked about this. And the end of this year, normally in December, there will be a new Robinson Crusoe game or expansion, and you know how much I love this game. But for now, at this moment, because it's a long way until December, for this moment, this game is my top anticipated game of them all. Really, I'm so stoked. I'm very curious to see how it plays, and if I get my hands on it and play it a few times, I guess I won't be able to do anything else but do a playthrough of it on this channel. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so excited. I'm not even going to try to hide it, how excited I am. So that's my number 1 anticipated game of GenCon. If I were going to GenCon, that's the one that I would spend my money on in a heartbeat, for sure. All right. So anyway, that's my top 13. I know there are many games that are not on this list that you might wonder about. For example, I didn't put Rise of Queendale on here. Scarabia is getting quite a bit of buzz. just to mention 2 of them. There are plenty more. So let me know, what games are you excited about that are released at GenCon? Put them in the comments. Are there any games that I missed? Are there any hidden gems? Because of course, going to one of these conventions is of course all about the big games as well. About playing them, about trying them out, about buying them, but also finding those diamonds in the rough, finding those hidden gems. And I'm still wondering about that. The list of GenCon releases is big again, as it is every year. And it's hard to find or to know which smaller games or games that are flying under the radar might be very cool. So let me know if you already know of these gems, these hidden gems. Put them in the comments. I'm really curious, and then I can check them out myself and hope that they will come to Europe very soon. Okay, folks, I'm all psyched up now because especially if my number 1. I'm sorry about that. So I thank you all for watching this top 13. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope you have some comments below. If you want to see more of my videos, if you're not subscribed yet, feel free to push that button. And well, that's it, folks. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will be here in the future again. So I see you then. Bye bye.